He's our slave rebellion hero.
Oh, this is your national monument, huh?
National slave hero.
National slave hero.
Kofi. His name is Kofi. It's
Coffee? As in
Kofi.
Coffee?
Cuffy. Kofi.
Oh.
So he's the one that led the revolution against slavery that begins in 1763. Hence we call him the 1763 monument.
Oh, slave hero, huh?
He's a slave hero.
Oh, he was slave to the Dutch, or
He was slave to the Dutch. He was a house slave to the Dutch.
What did he do? Why is he a hero?
So just a quick summary of what happened.
Yes.
So the Dutch was here. They enslaved.
It's in there.
They enslaved the Amerindians who were here.
Amerindians,
But the Amerindians, they weren't pretty good slaves. They did not adapt well to the condition of slavery. And the Dutch, they brought a lot of disease and stuff with them. So the Amerindians started to get sick. So what the Amerindians did, the Amerindians went to West Africa, like Ghana, West Africa, and those places, and they brought the Africans from those places and brought them to Guyana as slaves. So that's how we have the Africans in Guyana now.
Okay.
And then they brought the East Indians, but the East Indians came as indentured laborers who were paid a small amount, but same slavery. So Kofi was one of the Africans that came from West Africa. I believe Ghana, West Africa. He was a house slave to one of the general, right? And that was in Plantation Borbis. That was a plantation which is close to Suriname, to the east. So with that, he had access to move and visit from various plantation to plantation, right? Now, he would have utilized that access and communicate and rally up some of the slaves from various plantations that of the ideal of a possible revolution.
Oh, okay.
Right now, the revolution took place in 1763, where a lot of plantation would have been overturned and controlled by Kofi and his team.
Okay.
Right, and a lot of them would have taken control of. Now, Kofi, after that, they went into the ravine areas of Borbis and lived. Now, Kofi, he was actually elected the leader of the rebels. We can call them the rebels. Okay. Right? So he would have elected or appointed a deputy by the name of Arakaka, which was the deputy, who was pretty much a very aggressive guy. And he had wanted to continue to attack the Dutch general. Kofi, on the other hand, he had wanted a much more subtle and peaceful approach. So what he did, he wrote to the generals about a possible peace treaty, right, to resolve it. What he would have suggested is that the generals or the Dutch continue to live in the land part of Borbis, while they would have dwelled in the river part of Borbis, right? So the Dutch, what the general did, he actually used a delay tactic against Kofi and made the excuse that he had to seek approval of such from the Netherlands. From the Netherlands. So ideally what he was doing though, he was actually sending for reinforcement or support from other countries. Right, so he used a delay tactic. Now, after several letters were sent back and forth, and Kofi, Arakaka and his Kofi camp started to pressure Kofi to attack. Now, they did attack. They did finally decide to attack. And a lot of slaves would have died because by then, the support would have arrived for the Dutch. Right, and a lot of slaves would have died. And a lot of slaves would have died. So, there was an internal dispute after that for the leadership of the rebels, the slaves, and based on popularity vote, Arakaka would have won over Kofi. And it is a bit unclear as to what had happened to Kofi. Some say he would have committed suicide, some say he would have been killed, right? But that was the beginning of the first revolution that transpired, and that was the beginning. After then, it had several revolutions that transpired, but he was the one that started the idea of a revolution against slavery. So to honor him, we did this monument, right? We did this monument for him.
So again, the revolution was against the Dutch, right?
So we take a picture.
So Kofi didn't like the Dutch, huh?
It's not that they didn't like the Dutch. It's that the Dutch, the condition, the working condition was very brutal. It was extremely brutal. Right. So
the Dutch people were bad during those times, huh?
Yeah, it was very cruel and very brutal. Right, because even so the British came because the Dutch would have invited the British to come to Guyana as planters. As planters, and the British grew within the space of maybe 5 to 10 years, the British grew pretty large. And within the same region that we are right now, which is Georgetown, the Jamaica region, the British would have grown very large. So Guyana is divided in, at that time, Guyana was divided into like 3 parts. We had this Jamaica region, we had the Borbis region, and then we had the Essequibo region. So the Borbis region, the Essequibo region, and the Jamaica region. Now the British grew and took over the Jamaica region from the Dutch. So the Dutch would have been controlling the Borbis region still and the Essequibo region. So what the British did, the British decided to go to war with the Dutch for Borbis and Essequibo, and they won. They did beat them. So I think the Dutch went and collated with the French, with France, and they attacked the British, and they would have retaken the land. And then the British would have, after some years ago, after like 3 years I believe, the British would have re-attacked again and took back Guyana. And that's how we were, and the Dutch, they left. That's how from since then we were colonized by England, by the British.
By the British.
So we got our independence from the British.
Okay.
So the British basically fought the Dutch and beat them for here.
Okay. So let's take a look at Coffee then. All right.
Let's do.
What a name, huh? His name is Coffee. Okay. Oh, there he is. What does that year represent? 1763, right?
That's the year that the revolution took place.
The year the revolution
And
took place.
It was on the 23rd of February, 1760.
Okay.
So what is he wearing?
So those are African slave allocates that you have, like stuff like slave would have used. Those
Okay.
are 2 fishes in his hands.
2 fishes. In his hands.
You see, on his hat.
Okay.
You see, if you notice, he had on his hat, and the several masks on his legs.
What's on the legs?
Mask.
Okay.
Mask.
Mask.
Like,
Oh yeah, just
mask.
regular mask,
Yeah.
which they put on the face.
Yeah.
Okay. So everything has
This
a
is a
symbol.
func- this is a
Everything has a
function.
symbol on what he's wearing, right?
Yeah, but all these are part of I would say the African culture.
Okay.
Right? These things are like a part of the African culture. So this is usually a fountain, but the water is off right now. It's usually a fountain.
Okay.
Right, so this is our guy, Kofi.
All
So
right.
person comes here to relax, person comes here to take picture. Like if someone get married and they want to take wedding photos, they come here and take wedding photos.
Okay.
Just across some coffee now.
So he's the only hero of Guyana. He's the only hero of Guyana.
Well, he's our slave hero.
Huh?
He's our slave hero.
What's that again?
He's our slavery hero.
Yeah, slavery hero. No, I'm asking, is he the only hero of Guyana?
Yeah, that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Picture ba dyan? Nandito na ako.
All right. So this is the guy. His name is Coffee, the slavery hero of Guyana.